Chapter 17. Joseph. The taxi's engine fades in the distance, leaving me standing on the curb. The night wraps around me like a soothing embrace, a stark contrast to the roller coaster the past month has been. The chaos of the city has dimmed since I ended up at the church tonight. After what might be the longest night of my life, I'm left in peace and silence standing outside my home. The cool night air fills my lungs with every deep breath. There's no trace of death, no whisper, just a serene hush that settles over the neighborhood. I used to complain about this neighborhood, my house, and everything in it. Looking up at it now, I couldn't be happier to call it home. The hallway light is on, which means Ava's still up. The sound of my fatigued footsteps echoes throughout my unkempt front yard. I'm sifting through my keys at the front door when it suddenly opens. Ava's eyes widen, her hand on the edge of the door. I've been trying to get a hold of you. I've been watching the news and checking the front porch every 10 minutes. I saw what happened to Nikki, and then it showed footage of you charging the police and getting beaten, and I didn't know where you... I caress the sides of her face and mold my lips to hers. The distance between us dissolves, my exhaustion replaced by my yearning for Ava's touch. A moan escapes her as we force each other through the entryway and into the hall. For once, I do the opposite of what I've always done. I don't shy away from her touch. I embrace it. I don't reject her love. I receive it. Her back meets the orange plaid wallpaper, and I pull back, but I don't look away. I couldn't look away from her if I tried. With my hand still on her cheeks, my eyes flick between hers. I need to take her beauty in. She pulls me to her by my coat lapels, and we move deeper into the hall. We keep silent, our hearts beating mercilessly against each other. She nearly tears off my coat before introducing it to the floor. I nearly rip her shirt, adding it to the trail of clothing that leads to the living room. I lift her from the ground. My tongue sweeps hers, and I pour my willingness to love her into every part of me that meets every part of her. As I carry her to the couch, she drags her palm against the wall until it flicks the light switch. In an instant, the room goes dark. The moonlight seeps through the back window, and I see the light in her eyes. A beacon that has guided me from the darkness I willingly let into my life for so long. I lay her down on the couch and unbutton my shirt. Not as fast as I would like to, so the bottom few buttons fall to the ground as I tear open the rest. Ava exhales into me as I lay over her, her gaze appreciating every inch of my scarred face like I was intentionally created this way by God. The once prevalent thought of not deserving her love is not. I don't care whether or not I deserve this woman. She just needs to know that I cherish her for giving me a reason to keep living. And all I care to do is prove it here and now. A breath escapes her. At one point, I didn't think you would ever feel this way about me. I was afraid to, I admit, but fear itself couldn't keep me from you. I bury my lips in her neck, my tongue discovering the smoothness of her skin. Her aroma gives me new life, a life free of struggle, pain, and doubt. Her breath gives me new hope, a hope for a future, family, and purpose. My right hand curls behind her neck, heat flowing under my skin until it settles at my waist. Ava's eager eyes drop slowly from my eyes to the length of me. She gently separates the trim of her thong from her hips, and I smile, pulling it off and dropping it to the floor where it belongs. I rub my tip against her, watching her eyes roll back before I'm even inside of her. She grabs the hair on the back of my head, the anticipation gnawing at our desire for one another. It's been 5 years since I've slept with a woman and over a decade since I've slept with a woman who wasn't my wife. But Ava is not just any woman, and Ava's not my wife. So I choose to make love to her with the same thrill that comes with embracing a new way of life. I chose life over death, and I'll choose Ava every day that she'll let me. Her grip grows tighter around my curls the deeper I am inside of her. Her jaw drops, pleasure swirling about in her gaze before her eyes roll back. With every thrust, I accept realities that were once harsh. Our bodies become one, our hearts become one, our lives become one, and I invite each reality with open arms. Loving this woman was never planned, never part of some script. It's real. You love some people because of how they treat you or what they say to you. I love Ava for one reason, and it's that, throughout my hardships, pain, and doubt, she was there. She never gave up on me, she never left. She's the angel who gave me the grace I needed to fight my demons. You're a hero, you know. Ava's tone is so calming it could put me to sleep. They can say whatever they want about you on TV. The message you're preaching is saving lives. As we lie on the couch, she twiddles my gold chain in her fingertips. Her cheek is warm against my shoulder, and I savor her touch now as much as I have the past few hours. I feel like a new man, set free from the cell I locked myself in all these years. While I'm ashamed to have waited this long to feel for somebody, I'm happy to finally feel for Ava. Ava, you done so much for me when I refused to do anything for myself. I prop myself up on my elbow, looking her dead in the eyes. You saved me. Without you, there's no telling whether or not I would have put myself on that stage the way Nikki did. I will spend the rest of my life loving you for giving me a reason to keep living. Ava's fingertip delicately traces my cheek. In the depths of her gaze, I see a tapestry of emotions too profound to be turned into mere words. She already knows that the reason I'm breathing here and now is because she gave me the air when I was suffocating. A sudden noise shatters the calm. Ava and I are sent into a panic, and it takes me a moment to realize the sound came from the backyard. After a quick glance at the kitchen clock, I see it's just past 5 in the morning. The sun is starting to rise, casting faint orange hues in thin strips across the room. "Stay here," I whisper. My heart races as I hop across the living room, slipping my pants on. With my bare shoulder pressed against the wall, my fingers separate the blinds. I see Tanya outside picking up her belongings, which fell out of the bottom of her distressed luggage. I open the back door and make my way down the stone steps. "Tanya? What are you doing? Is everything alright?" Tanya frantically continues picking up clothes and jewelry, stuffing it back into the ruined bag. "I'm fine. I'm alright," she assures me without looking up. Her hands tremble, betraying the calm facade she struggles to maintain. I reach her in a few steps, kneeling beside her to help. "Joseph, please, I can help," I say, gathering a handful of clothes. Tanya nervously glances over my shoulder and down the alleyway. I turn to see a taxi in front of the house. "Are you coming back from somewhere?" I look down at the random items littering the ground between us, then fixate on the white envelope with Mendax's address printed on the top left. Tanya's face is stained with guilt, and it suddenly dawns on me that she's not coming back. She's running away. "What did they send you?" I ask, my voice sharp. She stares at the envelope lying between us. Without answering, she lunges toward it, but I swipe it before she can. "Joseph, that's not for you!" I turn my back to her, absorbing her slaps. "Give it to me!" she screams. I tear open the envelope, walking halfway down the alley before I see it's a check. My heart drops at the sight of the 8-digit number. The check is made out to Tanya from Mendax. The memo reads, "Granted to the estate of Nicky Williams, his greater good." With one hand holding the check above my head, I fend off Tanya with the other. "You're taking the fucking money and running?" I snarl. "Nicky hasn't even been dead a full day, and you're just gonna up and leave? What about his cousin Kit? Have you ever considered that some of this belongs to him? That's my money. Nicky left it for me and my baby. Now give it back." She whacks the side of my face, but her words are what catch me by surprise. "What do you mean, my baby? You mean you're Nicky's baby?" Tanya lays off for a moment. The ferocity in her eyes becomes a sheepish retreat. Ava steps out from the back door, her eyes flicking between Tanya and me. "Is everything okay?" "Say the baby belongs to you and Nicky," I demand Tanya, pacing side to side. She places her hand on her stomach. "Tanya, he took his life for that baby. Tell me that baby is his." Her bottom lip quivers. "Say it, damn it!" I scream. "I can't." A defeated breath escapes me. It's not even Nicky's kid. He robbed that gas station, carried the stress of becoming a father, and took his own life for a lie. "You let him go on that show," I whisper. "You knew why he was doing it, and you just watched? You watched my friend burn alive for a lie? Did you even love him? How dare you?" Tanya shouts. "How dare you question whether or not I loved Nicky?" "Did Nicky know the baby isn't his?" Ava interjects. Tanya turns to Ava, eyes now pools of sorrow. She lowers her head in dismay. "He didn't know." My jaw tightens. Nicky didn't end his life for nothing. I lift the check toward Tanya, and there's a gleam of hope in her eyes as she reaches for it. Before she can grab it, I rip it down the middle. I rip it again and again and again, until all that's left are paper shreds I let fall to the floor. "Get the fuck out," I state. Tanya collapses to her knees, cursing, crying, and screaming until her voice gives way. With a heavy heart, I ascend the steps and go back inside with Ava. I know deep down Nicky didn't end his life for nothing. Despite Nicky's decision and the questions that gnaw at my mind, I cling to the belief that Nicky's sacrifice holds a deeper meaning. As Tanya's cries echo in the backyard, it becomes clear that Nicky's legacy is more profound than any material possession. It's a reminder that life is intricate, often veering away from the paths we can see. And though this world is designed to mislead, I will do my best to ensure that Nicky's story is far from over. The echoes of his presence will continue to be heard, shaping look away in ways we can't yet fathom.